What's going on, guys? Broken Rubber Games here, more Fallout 3 Tale 2 Wastelands. And last episode when we left off, we went ahead and collected the loot that we got for completing the Galaxy News radio quest, as well as the loot that we got for completing the unmarked quest in the Museum of Technology. In between episodes, I did go through our inventory and sort of get rid of everything in storage that we weren't really using all that often. So our weight is much lower, but we're just going to go ahead over to Moira's and sell some more stuff as well.
You know,
There are vendors later on that do have more caps on them, but Moira does stay a pretty low level vendor, which is why she never has many caps on her. But it does give us a good excuse to buy a lot of her ammo while we have the caps. But yeah, you can see frag grenades have definitely been a massive source of caps.
good hunting.
But now we've managed to clear out our inventory quite a lot and get our weight quite a bit down, we're actually going to try and make a start on one of the DLCs. And that will be Operation Anchorage, which was the first DLC released for Fallout 3. And personally, I always really enjoyed it. I think it was a lot of fun. But to start the DLC, we want to head over to this sort of general location, and then eventually we will start picking up a radio broadcast from some Brotherhood outcasts that we've seen a little bit of before but haven't really interacted with. And I think it was quite cool what they did with the DLC, because in the base game there didn't seem to be any real way to interact with them other than that one sort of specific location where you can sort of trade in old technology to them for a monetary reward. but this added a little bit of a quest to do with them.
Hey there. Up.
So this is another random event where you have a group of these giant ants surrounding a radioactive drum. Which is pretty cool, pretty funny. iBot versus a raider. Battle that I'm sure will go down in history. But yeah, if you look for the Red Racer factory, that's always a good place to start to get the start of the Operation Anchorage DLC.
This is a high-priority message. Backup is needed at our location. This is Defender Morrill. Any outcasts listening on this frequency, report to Sector 7B, Bailey's Crossroads. This is a high-priority message. Backup is needed at our location. Any personnel listening on this frequency, please report at once.
So that radio message does just repeat. So that gives us this map marker here. Before we do that though, we are just going to take a very quick detour to make sure to pick up the Red Racer Factory map marker. Along with clearing out some enemies, getting some loot. Not quite sure how we managed to blow out the motorbike all the way from there. But yeah, something you have to be careful of is there is a raider back here. They always tend to have some sort of explosive weapon on them, whether that be a grenade rifle in a case of TTW Wastelands, but in base Fallout 3 they always seem to have a missile launcher on them, which did make them a bit of a pain to take on. But thankfully he managed to get the drop on him, take him out before he did much damage to us. He did also pick up a Guns and Bullets skill book there for our small gun skill. And there is a Scout's Handbook skill book there for our survival skill. And I always seem to get flame fuel in those ammo cases. It's quite handy having the bed there as well, so that we can rest and heal ourselves before entering the DLC. But now we can really get on with it. So as soon as you go through that door, I'm pretty sure all this is new and was added with the DLC. This is just a small sort of area used to transition into the sort of proper DLC area, if you like. Still a horrifying noise the calls make. But yeah, down here there is a little bit of loot you can use. Again, it's just many things to sell. Not that we're in a position to be worrying about caps at the moment. A little bit of ammo as well, along with the short double barrel shotgun. We want to make use of that. Like I said, it is just a very small area to get over to the DLC area. And similar to when we met up at Galaxy News Radio, this next section does have a tendency to crash quite a lot, but that's because I think it's mainly because there's a lot of NPCs running around the place. So if there's a few jumps in the video, it's just me editing together where the game has crashed. So I'm going absolutely ham with a laser rifle up there. We need to get our bottle caps.
You got a death wish? Walking through a war zone? Listen, local. If you want to be of use, help us clear the mutants between here and our base camp. If not, stay the hell out of our way.
Just like when we met up with the Brotherhood of Steel, they weren't too impressed with us. We're not going to worry too much about taking out all the enemies, just because it's quite likely that the Brotherhood outcasts will steal our XP. Not sure how a couple of those shots missed that did, but oh well. And there isn't really much loot or anything out here. It's just a combat encounter. It's very similar to when we met up with the Lion's Pride, Brotherhood of Steel, outside Galaxy News Radio. Does look cool. Shell casings laying around everywhere as well. That was what's that name? Misfortune. Came along, gave us a hand there. Thanks to the brave work of the Brotherhood Outcast, we can just go along and loot everything basically. There can actually be quite a lot of ammo that spawns in all these desks and lockers, along with quite a few caps as well. But we don't seem to be getting very lucky this time.
Done here. Back to base.
You can't actually jump across there. There is like an invisible barrier. So, unfortunately, any loot that's up the top here is sort of lost. But it's not the end of the world, because we'll be getting a lot of loot for ourselves very soon.
Keep moving, local.
All right, local. Mind explaining what you're doing here? How the hell did you hear my signal? It's not broadcast on a standard frequency. Oh, I see. You've got one of those wrist-mounted computers. Well, well. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that fancy? Listen, kid. Maybe you could help us out. We've been looking for someone like you. Why don't you head inside and talk to Protector McGraw? I'll radio ahead and let him know you're coming. Morrill calling in. Yeah, we took care of him. Listen, I'm sending down a local. You want to talk to this one? Yeah, exactly. Morrill out.
Seems like they're putting up with us for the time being, so we might be of some use to them. we'll see what they have in store for us.
All I'm saying is, why can't we just ice the guy and use his computer ourselves?
McGraw gave orders. It's that simple.
Come on, man. How long you gonna let McGraw screw us over like this?
All right, you. Keep your weapons holstered, your hands to yourself, and your mouth shut. Follow me.
Another pleasant character we're meeting. Obviously. Yeah. Walk really slow.
I need to talk to you. 2 minutes of your time. That's all I'm asking.
What? What is it?
Let's say we do find some really high-grade tech. Seems to me a group of enterprising grunts could strike off on their own. Go independent.
No. No. You want to talk crazy? Do it someplace else. I'm keeping my mouth shut while we...
Oh, get off your high horse. You see what's happening around here? We've been falling apart since we left the Citadel. I'm sick of it.
You still here? Because some of us have orders to follow.
Well, that was a waste of time.
Here he is, Protector. Like you asked.
Thank you, Defender. Give us a moment, please.
Sir, I'm going to say again that I don't like this idea.
Noted, Defender. That'll be all.
Yes, sir.
So you're the one Morell sent down. I'll be perfectly honest. I'd trust a Wastelander to shine my power armor, and even that's pushing it. But you do have that computer there on your wrist. I can see now that Morell made the right call. Maybe you can be useful after all. So you do have half a brain. That's good. I'll keep it simple. I need you and I need that computer of yours. You help me out, and I'll do what I can to help you. This isn't an offer the outcasts extend to anyone, so you really should think carefully about it. Records indicate there's some high-value tech in this base, but we can't get to it. The armory is sealed by a blast door, and we can't get it open. We're pretty sure anyone who completes the facility's VR simulation program will gain access, but it requires a certain interface. Unfortunately, we don't have one. You do, right there on your wrist. I need you to go into the simulator and complete that program, which will unlock the armory. You'll get a share of the gear, of course. Well, it's not. It's a hyper-realistic military training simulation of the liberation of Anchorage, Alaska from Chinese communists. This is heavy combat. Safety protocols off. That means you die in the sim, your body goes into massive cardiac arrest. Sim death. Real death. You're still listening, so I'm going to assume you're interested. But time's wasting. Sibley can take you to the pod. Olin will get you briefed. If you want to walk away, you're free to leave. My men won't stop you.
Before we do that, there is a chance of getting some loot in here.
Knock it off.
And ammo as well. He does say knock it off, but that is just standard NPC dialogue in Fallout. Any Bethesda game, really. And we should be able to take all of this without getting in trouble, basically. I'm going to put that single shotgun back though, because we don't really need it.
Think about what I said.
Oh, great. Just what we need.
You know, I've been thinking.
What? What is it?
It's just, I don't know, I feel kind of bad about that Gary guy. And it's not his fault the Pip-Boy didn't work. But we really need to, you know.
I don't know where this is coming from, soldier, but I've heard enough. Button it, or I'll report you myself.
Come on, you know I'm right. I overheard what you said
Got a
yesterday.
new best friend for you.
What?
Yep. Let's hope you treat this one better than the last guy, huh?
Go to hell, Sibley. You know that wasn't my fault.
Sure, whatever. Just make some progress, okay? We're all looking to get out of here.
Fine. Then get out and let me do my job.
If you didn't notice, I'm busy. Get lost.
Oh, great. Just what we need.
So you might have heard these guys out here talking about Gary. And hopefully you remember Gary from one of the vaults. It seems like some of them, well, one of them ended up here somehow.
Gary? Listen, son. I know Muriel was rough. I'm sorry. I really am. Gary? Gary? Right. You can drop the ad for now. I'm not here to hurt you. Gary?
Clumsy, loco.
Look, just remove the pit boy, and we can part ways.
Gary! Gary!
You know what? Fuck this. Hand me that saw. And turn off the recorder.
Absolutely brutal. Almost feel sorry for him. There is a schematic here for trench knife. There isn't an animation that plays for this one. It's not included in the mod pack. And all it requires is the spiked knuckles that we got on this table, along with a combat knife, which is a very common weapon. Did think there was one in this room, but apparently not. But you can find those of them around the Wasteland.
You're here to help? Fine, then put this on. Get in the chair, and we'll run the simulation. Oh, I'm sorry. Things have been tense here lately, and I'm afraid it's getting the better of me. I shouldn't be taking it out on you. Did you need something? Don't forget to put the neural interface suit on first. We can't hook you up until you're wearing it.
So here you do get a hard save. So if at any point you want to leave the simulation and attempt the DLC later on, you can reload that save. There are also a lot of audio logs, well, 4 audio logs here. They are all quite long, but it's basically talking about the development of the simulation. And it's all very sort of meta about the development of the simulation in comparison to the development of the game. Quite cool, but like I said, they are quite long, and half the text is missing from them. It's like they're degraded from being so old. So I'm not going to worry about listening to all of those. It's more just like some meta thing. But I'm going to end this episode here and then get into the Anchorage simulation next episode. But thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed this episode and been enjoying the series so far as well, and look forward to seeing what the rest of the DLC has in store for us. If you have been enjoying the series, make sure to like and subscribe, that way you won't miss out on anything. And any mods that I've mentioned throughout the video will be linked down in the description below, so you guys can test them out and use them yourself. Thanks again for watching. Always really appreciate having you guys here. I'll catch you guys in the next episode.